What is up, everyone? Let me go over here. Connect, go live. All right. Here we go. Welcome back to another Saturday personal development / family education / whatever the heck it is we do here on this channel. My name is Param. I'll hopefully be facilitating this next 30 to 45 minutes of time together. And I got something good prepared for today. So I think you'll find some value in it. And pretty much in today's live stream. So let me give a quick introduction of myself as we wait for people to trickle in. Like I said, my name is Param. We do this primarily most Saturdays of the year, give or take some personal pickleball tournament days that are pretty much like holidays for me now. But the intention for this live stream, the intention for this group is pretty simple. It's for anyone who is in a current state of life and they're looking around their world and saying, this is not the way the story goes. It's for anyone who thinks or wants or believes that there is another version of themselves or another version of life or reality that's available and accessible to them, yet they have not been able to access it, to hold it, to maintain it. It's for that. It's for anyone who firsthand or secondhand has ever experienced any type of pain, any type of trauma, any type of grief and loss, any type of addictions. And so how am I able to talk about all these topics and hopefully add some value to your world? Well, I have a master's degree in marriage and family therapy. I'm licensed as an addictions counselor. I teach college classes at a local college here in Orange County. I coach high school basketball. I have some clients that I do some mindset and performance coaching with. And so all in all, my hope is that my personal experience, my professional experience, and everything in between creates the platform for me to be able to do what it is I do and add some value to you. So like I said, today we're talking about some reasons why some people can and some people cannot change. Because, and where would I have this unique and special vantage point is as a clinician, I've sat across, thousands of people, thousands of families. And over the course of, more than a decade, almost 15 years of doing this stuff, I've been able to witness some human beings change and some human beings, unfortunately, stay the same or even worse, regress to worse versions of themselves. And the question is always like, why? Because at the end of the day, doesn't everybody want to achieve some type of a different version of reality? Doesn't everybody want to achieve some type of a alternative universe that's not what it is if it's not good? How many people really want to change it? Not that many people do. So today we're going to go over some reasons that I've been able to observe and witness of people that have been able to make these changes and of people who have not. And you can start to kind of assess and evaluate yourself, assess and evaluate your own circumstances, your own reasonings for why or why not this was possible for you. So all that being said, let's start with number one. It's this thing called the human mindset, okay? We all have it, and our mindset is something that really shapes our reality. I've been on record saying that everything in life is created twice. Once inside the mind, my friends, and once inside reality. So if you cannot see it in your mind, if you cannot visualize it in your mind, if you cannot crystallize it in your mind, good luck having it come to fruition in reality. There is no such thing as creating a world without first being able to see it in here. Now, the mindset comes with two variations. One is, do you have a growth mindset, or is your mindset fixed? Also known as the fixed mindset. And what is the main differentiator between these two things? Well, the growth mindset says there is more possible for me, for my life, for my relationships, for my mental health, for my physical health than what I'm experiencing right now. There is a different version of life. There is a higher vibration. There's a higher frequency. There's more connection. There's more love. There's more empathy. There's more knowledge. There's more understanding. A fixed mindset says, this is who I am and this is all I will ever be. A fixed mindset resigns to the fact that I will never become anything else. A fixed mindset resigns to the fact that there is no reason to try. because nothing will ever change. Now, you can really start to assess and look at yourself and the people around you, and you'll quickly realize that those who do things that inspire others, those who do things that inspire you, come from a place of growth, saying that they are capable of achieving more, that they are able to grow in various areas of their life. They have committed to personal development. And those who say the same day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, decade after decade, they got a fixed mindset. They stay the same. So that's the number one thing that I could really help you see and understand is growth mindset versus fixed mindset. Which one do you come from? So the next one we have here is right. My screen, I can't see. Okay. Oh, by the way, hello everybody that's popped on here. We've had a bunch of people say good mornings. A bunch of people checking in, new and old. We got people from various parts of the United States, which is always a beautiful thing to see. So the next one that we have here comes down to your belief system. So it's not your mindset, it's a little bit deeper. Our belief system kind of goes a little bit inward, and it starts to ask things like, am I capable of doing this? Am I able to accomplish this? Do I have the ability, the skill set, the tools, the patience, the persistence, the resiliency to get the job done? People that believe in themselves have a far greater chance of succeeding and achieving their goals and making changes in their life than people that don't. And here's the kicker. Sometimes people think if you believe in yourself or believe that you can get it done, that means you can get it done. Absolutely not. When I believe I can do something, I've also accepted the fact that I'm going to fail and stumble and fail and stumble until I finally get it done. There's no such thing as like wanting to set out to do something and smooth sailing across the way. But it's the belief that when shit hits the fan, it's the belief that when things get difficult, it's a belief that when I fall down, can I get up? That's the belief. It has nothing to do with the success without the struggle, the success without the adversity. And then there's this other side of the belief system, which is the people that do not believe that they can do it. They say, I am not capable of achieving this goal. I am not capable of making this change. I am not smart enough to do it. I'm not good enough to do it. I'm not worthy of it to do it. And where does that come from? Well, man, it comes from a lot of different places. Initially, it comes from the outside. I always tell parents to be careful what you tell your children, because one day that will become their inner critic. When you tell someone they can't do something, they can't do something, they can't do something, inside their mind, now they got a critic that says, you can't do something, you can't do something, you can't do something. So limiting beliefs about self, limiting beliefs of one's ability to change will cause it. Because as I say this every week, and now it's really appropriate to say it, whether you think you can or you can't, you are right. You're right. So it comes down to the belief of, can I do this or can't I do this? Whichever one you choose to go down is probably the one that you're going to experience. Let's see, we got something here. Eileen, what's up? Welcome back from Miami. It's been a long time. And it's a new talk. So, I know you committed probably 2.5 years, 3 years, 3.5 years straight to these Saturdays. At some point, I ran out of content, Eileen, but this is new. Worked on it this morning. We're good to go. You got some brand new content today. So the next one that I have is for those who can and those who cannot change. One of the things that's really important is these blocks and these barriers that we have. And where are these blocks and barriers? What are these blocks and barriers? And how can we identify them? Well, number one is, do you have any type of past trauma? Those who experience trauma have a far less likelihood of putting themselves out there and being vulnerable, being able to open themselves up to things like uncertainty, of fear, of doubt, of diving in, putting their toe into their discomfort. They like to take the path of familiarity. So if you've experienced a lot of trauma and it's still unresolved, if you've been hurt in life, in relationships, at work, if if life just gave you a bad hand of cards and it was just like, what do I do with this? I could see why making changes are hard, because in order to make change, you got to be vulnerable. You got to be willing to open your mind and yourself up to things that probably terrify you. So unresolved trauma is a big, big, big block and barrier in changes. And the second one is anything related to our cognition, our emotional regulation. So if you have mental health challenges, and hey, a lot of us do. I've experienced depression. I've experienced anxiety. I understand what it's like to not want to do things and lack motivation. So if you have mental health challenges that you've had for a long time, maybe it's a significant barrier in being able to accomplish your goals, to make the changes you want and need and deserve to make in your life. But here's the thing. Those who do make changes and those who don't have learned how to overcome, work through, process these barriers. Can you work on your trauma? Absolutely. Can you resolve your trauma? Absolutely. Can you process your trauma? Absolutely. Is it easy to do so? Based on the trauma, probably not. To face what it is that harmed you and hurt you your whole life and is preventing you from moving forward is a tall ask. But how bad do you want that change? How bad do you want that change? If the answer is like, I really want it, man, then you're going to do the deep work. If your answer is like, I don't want to live the way I live anymore in life, I need to experience something else, then you're going to do the work necessary to make the change. Can you work on things like anxiety, depression, PTSD, OCD, substance use disorders, grief and loss? Absolutely. Is it easy? No. See, if this stuff was easy, wouldn't everybody have the life that they want? I mean, if I go around asking people, is the life you have right now the life that you absolutely dreamed of one day and the life that you currently want? Majority of people are going to say some parts of it's okay, but a lot of it, no. Well, if people are saying the life I have is not the life I want, yet they're unable to go get the life they want, that's how hard this stuff is. But can you work on your anxiety? Can you work on your depression? Absolutely. Can you overcome these barriers? Absolutely. Eileen, so good to have you back. Jim, what do we got here? Give us some wisdom. Break down the barriers one at a time is what has worked for me, and it was difficult but doable. When people start the change process, they have a lot of barriers. Jim's saying he had a lot too. And what they want to do is they want to resolve them all at once. They want to grab these big barriers, these boulders, these blocks that sometimes have been there for like 30, 40 years. And they just want to just say, I just want to remove them and do the changes I want in life. Man, it's impossible. It's like, how do you eat a big pizza? You eat it one slice at a time. How do you remove the barriers one barrier at a time? Because if I put the whole pizza in my body, it's going to suffocate me and kill me. But the slice of pizza tastes really good. And sometimes, we'll have the second one and the third one, the fourth one. But I couldn't have all four at once, if that makes sense. Good morning, Jose and John. So the next one that we have here is something called the willingness to take responsibility. So those people in life who can change versus those people in life who cannot change oftentimes come down to this one specific differentiator. Can you take ownership and responsibility for your life? If the answer is yes, you will take ownership and responsibility for your change. If the answer is no, if you want to have that blame mentality, if you want to uphold the victim mentality, then you're probably not going to be able to make changes, because as soon as you face adversity, as soon as you face difficulties, as soon as you face challenges, as soon as you fall flat on your face, instead of saying, what can I do? What did I do? How can I improve? How can I resolve? How can I work through this? You know what you say? It's because of you that I fell down. If it wasn't for what you did, I wouldn't feel this adversity. I can't get up because you did this to me. I don't stand a chance because you never gave me a chance. Well, guess what? The one that takes ownership will change. The one that blames and victimizes self and others, guess what? They will always stay the same. And how sad is that? I do, as a mental health clinician, always need to let you know that I am a big advocate and a big voice for those who are victims in life. I need you to know that. I need you to understand that. So this isn't like for someone that went out and got exposed or experienced something traumatic to them. Like, that's a straight victim. I get that. Okay. However, if years has gone by, so if you experience some horrible, horrendous things as a child, okay, my heart is with you. My compassion is with you. And if that was 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago, and right now you're not experiencing, however, the pain of that experience is bleeding into every aspect of your life today. It's impacting your personal relationships. It's impacting your work. It's impacting your physical health. It's impacting your world today, to this day. Even though what happened then and there was not your fault, even though you were a victim then, and I will give that to you, today you are responsible for healing from those wounds, even if somebody else did them to you 20 years ago. Because if not, then who's going to come and help you? You really think someone 30 years later is going to come to you and say, hey, 30 years ago, I harmed you. I hope that you forgive me, and I want to free you to go live the life that you deserve. That's not going to happen. You got to work through that stuff for yourself and say, hey, shame on them for doing what they did, but shame on me for not doing what I need to do to heal and move on and break these cycles and free myself and finally get the life that I deserve. Finally live the life that I deserve. Those who are able to do it change, and those who are not stay the same. Let's see what we got. Sue, good morning. When my wants and needs coincide, I'm probably where I need to be. I like that. I have found that taking responsibility does not mean to blame yourself. Just acknowledge of what have done differently. Yeah, if I knew differently, it's that's kind of the gift of hindsight, right? Like, if I can go back in time, how would I have responded, reacted, acted differently with the information and knowledge I have today? It's a beautiful thing. If I get hit by another car, it wasn't my fault, but it's my responsibility to fix my car. I mean, fair enough. It's a much more simpler way to saying what I just said. So the next one that I have is motivation and purpose. Those people in life who are able to change versus those people in life who are not, it oftentimes comes down to this thing called motivation. So when someone wants to change, you know what I say? I say, that's wonderful. That's awesome. But before you let me know what it is, can you tell me why it is you want to change? And if their why is not compelling enough, if their why is not strong enough, if their why is not enduring enough to overcome the setbacks and trials and tribulations and challenges of life, it's not enough. If your motivation to do something is not strong enough to pull you through all of the life ups and downs and challenges, when you go up and down, you're going to give up. Why do you think so many people start the change process, but not many people finish the change process? You don't think it's because they want it? Of course they do. But the level in which they want it is not enough to handle life's challenges. And when you couple that motivation with something called purpose, which is deeper than motivation, purpose is like your ultimate why. Like, how do you want to be remembered type stuff? What's meaningful to you? What aligns with your values? How do you feel the best version of yourself? When you put motivation and those two things together, it becomes an unstoppable force that will create change. And not only the individual's lives, but the lives of those around them. So when people are lazy or people don't finish the things they start, it's not about their character. It's a motivation problem. It's because they lack the motivation to finish the job they started. It's because they lack the motivation to do the job at hand, right? And it's really important to consider and look at that. So, yeah, like especially with like lazy people say, man, you're so lazy. You're not lazy. You're just not motivated correctly. Improperly motivated is what we call them. What do we got here? Motivation is all well and good, but then I need to put in the work. Yeah, it's motivation is kind of like this desire, right? It's like this wanting something. It's the reason why someone starts something. So you can start something. So motivation is good in the beginning. It's like, ooh, wonderful. It got me going. But then what Jim's saying, the action, putting in the work, that's the hard part, because that's the part that sustains through the different seasons of life. That's the part that nobody wants to do. Like when you think about action, and you think about motivation, and you think about these kind of things, the word discipline pops up in my head, because motivation without discipline doesn't mean anything. And what is discipline? The willingness to do something despite of not wanting to do it. Like knowing you have to do something, not wanting to do it, but doing it anyways. That's discipline. And it's all action based. And it's all the key to those who do and those who don't. I've yet to meet someone accomplish their goals that doesn't have some serious discipline. Because it's easy to get complacent. It's easy to get comfortable. Oh my goodness. We can go right now on that TV behind me. I can sit there. It's Saturday, 9:37 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I can go on this thing that they created called Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime or Apple TV. And unfortunately, yes, I have a subscription to all these things. And I can sit there and I can just sit on that couch and I can just veg out. I can veg out for like 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours. I can get a little DoorDash delivered. I can veg out some more, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, get a little DoorDash delivered, and then all of a sudden it's like, finish the night with a little bit of a dessert, go to sleep, wake up tomorrow at 10 a.m., repeat the process. It's Sunday, right? And then Monday comes around. I'm like, oh man, got to go back to work. And if that person ever tells me that they're frustrated that their life doesn't change, you know what I tell them? You don't deserve your life to change. You're telling me you want to sit on that couch all weekend long and then have the audacity to say that I deserve to have a different life? No, you don't. The person out there grinding their you-know-what off, the person out there reading, learning, the person out there helping out other human beings, the person out there that's looking at themselves, looking at their past, looking at their future, doing an evaluation assessment, that person deserves their life to change, working on their traumas, working on their discomfort, pushing themselves. That person deserves it. The one that's just committed to the path of least resistance on the couch watching Netflix, all they deserve is whatever comes from the momentary spike in ha 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 laughter or wow, that was a good show. That's all they get. A little entertainment value in their life. Nothing wrong with that. Once in a while, I'll do it too. But you best believe as soon as that thing's done, I'm grinding again. So the next one that we have here is, this one's important, your past experiences. If you've never had anyone in your life change, I would say it's fair for you to say, you know what, Param, I know you want to be a really nice, positive, motivating kind of guy today, but I don't believe that human beings can change. Some people say that. Some people say, once something, always something. What a limiting belief that is. What a fixed mindset that is. Maybe I would be guilty of thinking the same if I was not exposed to it. But, doing counseling, doing therapy, doing transformational seminars, doing workshops, doing performance and mindset coaching, teaching community college, I've seen thousands of human beings change. You might not believe it because it might have not been your experience with your father not changing or your mother not changing or your ex not changing and thinking that, well, these people didn't change, so no one can change. You know how many fathers and mothers and exes I've seen that have changed? So my perspective might be a little skewed because of what I'm exposed to in the type of work I do. But if you don't believe that other people can change, by default, you are actually confirming and affirming the fact that you cannot change either. The moment you say, yes, others can change, that's the moment you open the door to believe that you can change too. And also, you can't change other people. So think about how hard it is to change yourself. Now imagine how hard it is to change other people. I mean, I've had people literally come to therapy and I'm like, so what do you want to work on? They're like, nothing for myself. I'm just here for my kid. I'm like, wait a second. So why is your kid not here? well, they don't even know I'm here. I'm just secretly coming here because I really want them to change. I'm like, bro, you are just completely twisted. That's like literally taking your car to a mechanic shop, and the mechanic's like, so what are we working on today? And you say, no, I'm not working on this car. I want you to fix my son's car. It's at home. I'm like, you want me to fix why is your son's car not here? No, I don't want to bring my son's car here because if he finds out I took it to the mechanic shop, my son's going to get mad at me. Man, people are silly. But if you believe that you can change other people, and I've accepted that. Like when I do these talks, I've already accepted the fact that there's a chance that no one's going to change as a result of what I'm saying. That's cool. But one person might. And if they do, job well done. So the next one that we have here, let's see what Jim said here. Wow, I have a very messed up past. Used to use it to motivate me good life. So that's kind of like, I call that it's almost like the chip on the shoulder, but in a positive way. So I don't mean like in a negative connotation. What this is, if you look at the autobiography of some really successful people, it's really rare that they come from very, very, very successful homes. They come from like challenges and adversities, and oftentimes like, broken homes and single moms and single dads. And you know what? Because that past allows them to kind of like create something. But you watch like a kid that's like born into like a billionaire family, like a little trust fund baby. And like, oh, he's 44 years old and he's just struggling to find himself in the world. It's like, yeah, because he doesn't do anything his whole life. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have to like think, let alone decide what he wants to become. Just kind of just cruise controls the whole time. So yeah, man, I love adversity, Jim. I'm a friend of it. I stand with adversity. So the next one we have here is this. Oh, this is good. The perception of time. So those who do succeed in life and those who do not, oftentimes comes down to their perception and their perspective on time. So I like to use the macro and the micro version. I like to use the fact that goals and change requires time, the passing of time. Yet a lot of people have this instant gratification, junky little click to them that when they want to change, if the change doesn't happen yesterday, then they don't believe it's going to work. And a great quote by John Maxwell goes something like this: people grossly overestimate what they can do in a month and significantly underestimate what they can do in a year. So if you go to the gym for a month straight and come home and say, yeah, not really, this stuff didn't work. But if you go to the gym for a year straight, all of a sudden you're 40 pounds different, you look better, your cholesterol is lower, your blood sugar is better, you're feeling your self-esteem's higher, you feel like you finally accomplished something you've been trying to do. 30 days didn't get you there, 1 year did. So it's not the action, it's the duration of the action through consistency and committed discipline that gets you there. Nothing really happens in just a few days. It takes time to make lasting changes. And for some reason, we are led to believe that we deserve for things to happen for us because we just want them to happen. Like, come on. How entitled are we as a society to think just because you want to change, you should make it happen? Like, yeah, you want that desire to change. Now go earn it. Go prove to yourself and others that you earned it, that you have the right to change. Not just because you want it. Everybody wants it. You know what they say? The road to success, the higher you go, it's less crowded up there because nobody's willing to be up there. They just look up and say, oh, I wish I was up there, instead of wanting to climb to get there and then fight to stay there. That's the good stuff in life. The very last one, your support systems. I mean, none of us are who we are without the support in our lives. I would not be the man I am without significant people in my life: mom, dad, brother, rest in peace, family members, friends. Come on, man. This is what we need to become who we are. And when you're trying to make changes in life, you need the support system. It might not be your family because some of us don't have them around. It might not be your family because they might just not believe in change. It might be other people, family of choice, just friends. But you need that support system. And some people, unfortunately, their support system is super toxic. Not only do they not believe change is possible, but on top of that, when you want to change, you know what they say? Why are you even going to try? You're not going to be able to do it anyways. Why are you going to do that? You're not going to be good at it anyways. What's the point? Come on, you're not smart enough for that. You want to do what? No way, you can't do that. Why are you even wasting your time? Man, toxic people. There's nothing like toxic people to kind of take a person that wants to change and just put a little poison in their mind. You know, whenever someone says, why are you going to do that or you can't do that, they're actually just projecting their own insecurities and the fact that they're too scared to do it. Don't listen to them. Go talk to the dreamers. Go talk to the people that believe that they can do amazing things in life and ask them, what's your secret sauce? If you listen to the doubters and you listen to the people that are scared to change, I mean, you really think that support system is going to help you change? Surround yourself with people that have transformed themselves, that have transformed others, that have transformed society, and then see what happens in your life. So I don't know what inspired me to do this talk today, but the main reason I wanted to do it was because I struggle with the fact personally that I don't get why some people can and some people can't change. So I sat down and I just made a list of what is it between these people? Why do these people do it and these people don't? This is what I came up with. So if you are someone who is trying to change something in your life, please go listen to this talk again and identify what are your areas that are preventing you from changing. And if you're somebody who doesn't believe in the change process, I challenge you to identify one area of your life, apply what I said today to that one area of your life, and do not stop until you have successfully changed that one area. And then come back and say, hey, I used to think that change isn't possible, yet I just was able to change this one area in your life. And I hope that's enough to make you start questioning all of the things in life that you think or have thought that you cannot change. Because take this from me, it is nothing but a delusional thought, not based in reality, based on your past traumas, based on your past experiences, based on your negative belief, based on your blah, 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 blah. Let's shatter those. Let's break through them. Let's create a new version of life, new version of reality for ourselves and those around us. And let's live the best freaking version of ourselves today, tomorrow, and for how many days we have coming on this planet. Love and appreciate all of you. See you back next week. Same time, same place. Bye, everyone.